So, chalo Pragyan, introduce yourself.
Uh, Good morning, sir. So my name is Pragyan Parasarneo. I have done my bachelor's in geology, BSc in geology from St. Anthony's College, Shillong, and I'm currently working for an NGO called Binondia Majuli. It's a Majuli-based NGO. Majuli is the biggest river island in the whole world, and so I have been working for this NGO for the past 2 years. I'm a graduate of 2019 batch, and currently I'm also pursuing MA in political science from Sir Indira Gandhi National Open University. And my hobby is so sometimes acting and drama, and then so reading is my one of my hobby as well. And so I'm much about listening music and all those things. So
So,
thank you.
also introduce your family
So I have my
and
parents.
your native place.
Yes, sir. So I'm from Jorhat, Assam. My parents, both my parents are in government services. My father is an accountant in finance department of Assam, and my mother works at the judicial magistrate office in Majuli, and I have a younger sister who is in class 7. So
Okay. So, you have been working as on which profile in that NGO?
actually, I have been working as one of the founding members in the very first portfolio, and so I'm looking after the PR side. So.
PR side. And what are the KRA that you perform?
So basically, I talk with the different projects, and also whenever there are projects from the district administration, I'm the one that goes to my NGO, and I'm the one if there is any kind of working profile, any kind of projects, I'm the one in negotiating about the terms and conditions and how we will be working, the duration of working, and all those things. So.
Okay. So you have a very good experience in social work and related domain. So why don't you go for social work only? Why you have opted for development studies?
Sir, our our NGO's basic work domain is Majuli, and I have been working in that area for the past 2 years. And I was born and brought up out there, but later I shifted for my education purposes. So what I saw is that, sir, there are adequate amount of policies that has been made by the government. There are government processes, but development processes. But sir, there is a stagnant process. And what I feel, sir, if I go for the perspective of development studies, that will help me more to understand the problems and go for the innovative solutions, innovative approaches to solve those modern problems, because I believe that development studies gives me that uh, perspective to look from the very different subject lenses. I believe that that's how versatile study of different approaches will give me a very good idea about the dimensions of problems and the dimensions of solutions, how to approach it.
So
So I
what
believe
do
that that's why I'm.
what is development in your eyes or in with your what do you think about development? What is development?
Sir, development is a multidimensional understanding. It's a multidimensional approach to, sir, achieve a higher quality of life. That's how, by definition, that I understand that is development. And so it's a holistic understanding of the vertical horizontal dimensions of any problem, and sir, modern approaches to solve the same. Sir.
Okay. So what are your learning goals with development studies
Sorry, sir, from this
from
course, or
subject
sir?
from this course only?
Yes, sir. So I checked the very curriculum of this course, and what I understood from my experience is that there is a lack in the psychological perspective of development. So I saw that there is a paper in the very first semester as well, where we discuss about the psychological perspective of development, and that's how so one of the problem that we identified from our NGO, that there is a lack in there. Firstly, secondly, sir, I have background of geology, and what I saw in the second semester or the third semester, there is a paper on ecological development and sustainable development. And that is, sir, I believe that my potential directly goes in line with that part as well. So I'll be having direct knowledge about that part. And sir, different industrial, I saw one of the industrial exposure this institute provides for a course of development studies and so policy making part. So I believe that these are the various domains I can get a view of the development studies, and that's how it will impact my knowledge base and my learning outcome and my skill outcome, both in a very good dimensional manner. So
So can you tell me what is the role of politics on development? What is the
So
impact of politics on development?
yes, sir. So the impact of politics, if I say, is in India, sir. So politics is the key factor that nowadays drives a development policy, and that's where some of the areas are getting benefited. That's for sure, but some of the areas are not getting even benefits. I'm not saying that they are not getting benefits, but they are not getting effects. This can be done as also political representation can be a root cause. Also, the current scenario of the vote bank based politics impacts the development directly. So where if political party identifies an area with their vote bank, they directly focuses on various development processes, but they fail to identify the root cause of those development. They go for the vote bank means based development. They are not going for the root causes of the development. So I believe that's how one politics is impacting development processes. And secondly, sir, there are in India, sir, we have different departments criteria to fulfill and go for a development project. For one environmental development project, sir, we need to have clearance from two or three or more departments, and that's where politics plays a very important role. So because of some political roles, these development projects get stagnant and get slower in some of the ways because they are not inclined to that project, or they think that their interest will not be fulfilled from that development project. And same goes for the bureaucratic rules as well. They are playing a very important decision making role in the work of bureaucratics, then I feel that they're not that independent that they should be, and that's where politics plays a role. But in a positive way, sir, because of politics, there are some of the areas that they never got any kind of development projects since independence, but now they are getting because of the political representation in the assembly or in the parliament. So I believe that that's how politics plays a role in the development. Sir.
Okay, Pragyan. So I'd like to know about your state's initiatives for welfare or development related goals in your state.
All right, sir.
Like all the
So
policies or initiatives that you find or that you have found very important for the state's development.
yes, sir. So firstly, sir, recently if I go by a recent terms and conditions, so recently Assam government had raised their stake in Sir Numaligarh Refinery Limited. They have raised their stake, and that's how I think they will be first one of the most important economic beneficiary of for Assam. Secondly, sir, they are currently focusing on the women empowerment rate, and since one and especially in the crime against women, so recently one of the surveys has detected that the crime against women in Assam is really very high, and so now they are focusing on the women empowerment on various domains and various schemes. And for example, sir, they have worked on the infant mortality rate by some of the schemes that provide incentives to the mothers if they give birth to children in government hospital, and another incentive, added incentive, if the born child is a girl. So there are incentives for women as well. So thirdly, sir, they are working for an indigenous based uh, the conservation of culture and conservation of identity. I think that that gives uh, a large amount of population feel attached to the government, and that's how they will come up and cooperate with the government in these very different development projects. That is how indirectly government is doing. So fourthly, sir, after the COVID pandemic, they are giving from taking help from the directly from the central government, they are giving incentives and giving helps to different startups and different local employment programs, especially through MSME sector. So for fifthly, sir, they are giving there's one of the largest beneficiary scheme in the history of Assam, that is Arunodai. It's a direct benefit transfer and DBT scheme, so direct benefit transfer scheme, by giving around amount of 830 rupees to marginally poor people, monthly around 830 rupees they are giving. So this is one of the largest beneficiary scheme that Assam has ever seen. So I think that's how government is currently tackling and situation in Assam and progressing towards economic development and social development as well. So am I audible?
Sorry. If I'll ask you, do you have any suggestions to government or any particular project idea that you can give to government? What they are not doing yet, but if they will do this, there will be significant change in people's life, or you can contribute. Well, the project can contribute in development.
Uh, so I believe I do helps us. some my point of view suggestions. I think so now government should, in both the state and the central as well, I'm talking. So they should
Especially
focus.
talk about your state.
Okay, sir. So Assam has been a state of conflict, sir, since a very large time, sir. And recently, for the past 10 years, we have seen a decline, curve, slight declining in the cases of conflict. So now we can say that it's a very good time for a fresh start. And from that point of view, I think the government should focus on the startup boosting, sir. They should boost the startup. They have, sir, Assam skill Assam mission and others, sir. But that I think that is not directly impacting the youth. I think they should focus on the startup sector. And so Assam is a very famous state. It used to be a very famous state for the cottage industry. So I believe that in that way, Assam should focus on the MSME sector, and they should directly come up with schemes that helps the MSME sector directly. Thirdly, sir, in Assam, sir, we have seen a very lack of infrastructure in case of the IT sector. Recently, sir, I can say these very things during the COVID pandemic, where online education was going on, we have seen so many universities. Assam, some of the top universities of Assam, their website got hacked, and some of the students, they uploaded different exam related memes and different exam related stories in their website. So that is one of the vulnerable side that has been proved because of the online education, and that can be a threat in so many ways, sir. I think Assam should work on the IT sector as well. And so primary health sector is a very good field that Assam can introspect themselves, even though Assam is tackling COVID in a very good way, I'll say. But it's
Okay, Pragyan,
situation.
I would like to ask you another question. Like you have applied for NIT development studies. What other development study based courses have you applied?
Sir, sir, am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Yes, sir. Sir, I did not apply any of it. So firstly, I applied for sir, IIT Guwahati, but I did not got shortlisted for interview. And so this is my second development studies course I am applying for.
So why you didn't apply for TISS?
So actually, at that point, I appeared for TISSNET. I qualified it for so another program. But at that point of time, so I think that my potential, how the TISS provides the education, I think my potential will go in lies with some other different courses. My interest will go for some different courses because they have that versatile course dimension. So I applied for some another course, not development studies. So.
We at NIT, matlab, we have a very small department here for humanities, and the college is known for its technical education and other science-based programs. So, do you think that it will be a better idea to study humanities in a science-based or program?
Sir, I believe that the curriculum of this institution is a very good approach to study development studies. And sir, I believe that recently I have seen how the students from NIT Rourkela have cleared renowned fellowships and renowned, they are getting associated with various research projects. Recently, so I have seen how one of the students is got selected for Gandhi Fellowship, one of the renowned fellowship of India. And so I believe that it's the pioneering institution in the Indian education system will be, and it will be impacting my life in a very positive way. It's not about the department only, it's about the ambience that will give that NIT Rourkela will give me. And so thirdly, I believe that its strategic location is also one of the thing that well, it's a state, it located in a state which was once known for, in 1985 it was known for poverty and hunger, but now it's one of the most one of the developing state of India. So, and I believe that all this region will sum up to one conclusion, that it will give me a positive impact on my life, and it will give me a good approach to study development studies.
Okay, so last will be very generic question for you.
Yes, sir.
What are the barriers of development?
Sir, barriers in the sense development studies.
No, barriers.
In the
Barrier in
development
development,
process, sir.
development process.
Okay, so firstly, sir, India is doing various policies in the development, but sir, I feel a lack of auditing system in the project implementation part. There is a lack of audit. Thirdly, sir, India fails to understand the psychological perspective of a development project. Psychological perspective is one of the most important perspective that one should always follow. Then, sir, social awareness. Social awareness is really important for a full community participations, because I think there is a lack of participation from the population, from the citizens part as well. Thirdly, so I think too many obstacles in getting a clearance from departments, too many points that one should, too many criteria that one should follow. Thirdly, sir, fourthly, sir, I feel that there is a conflict of interest between development professionals and sir development various political as a political elements, legal elements are there, socio-economic elements are there. So I believe sir, that will directly impact the development process. And thirdly, sir, the political scenario, the political part is playing a very crucial role in the development process. And so the media coverage. So one of the very I think swift way to demarcate how development is going on and what should be own actual project, how actual project should look like and how it is look like in the current development process. That will be covered by media, but I think media is engaging in some not actively engaging in the development process. So I believe that it's we need to focus on the media part as well. So
Okay. Chalo, thank you very much, Pragyan.
thank you so much.
So your interview was good. What I'll do, evening में भी जो interviews है ना DS के दो, तो I'll give you the link of those interviews also.
Okay,
तो
sir.
वो भी attend कर लेना, ठीक है?
Sure, sir.
And I'm not giving you any मतलब critical analysis of this interview because almost it was good. If average or if, I can say one of the best interview of DS, है ना? So your knowledge and your understanding about your state is good. About the policies and the government initiatives is also very vivid. And the thing that I can suggest you is to like categorize the state answers in not categorize, structure the answers in a way so that uh, the listener can understand in, although you are doing it good, मतलब इसको ऐसे बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है, है ना, but just for the sake of saying something I'll say